I'd say 6.5.
Maybe a 6. Yeah, 6.
At some points, like at the beginning of the year, like or during home code week, it was more of a 1. It was really fun. But like during finals week, it was definitely like 8, just because there was just so much homework, and every once in a while, like all of your work for your classes would just pile up, and it'd get really stressful.
4.
A 5.
About 6.
Definitely a 10. My stress really did affect my academic performance, my performance in my extracurriculars, and my health, my physical and mental health. I feel like I kind of lost it a little bit. In middle school, where they expected a lot less of you, and also my school was a lot smaller, so I wasn't used to this huge wave of people constantly and just being, in a way, lost in a crowd.
It definitely opened a whole new world to me, and there were lots of things to explore and different things to try and areas to become independent and free in. So that was definitely both cool and like a little bit pressuring.
Academically, it was just a lot more stressful.
The major things were just homework and studying.
This lack of time was really difficult.
All my extracurriculars piling up.
I was juggling basically A's and B's, and I felt a lot of stress coming from like parents, peer pressure, and myself.
Being organized and playing sports. Getting my mind off the stress and then coming back to it when I've calmed down.
Sleeping. From my peers, my friends would always encourage me. They would say it doesn't really matter, like whether or not you get an A or you get a B. Like the past is in the past. You just have to look at the future, and there's a long life ahead of you, right? And
My parents were pretty supportive and sympathizing, and they put themselves in my shoes, and they.
If I had a ton of assignments or a ton of stress, they let me maybe skip a class I didn't really need to be in and go to the library and study, or write a note saying that I couldn't do a certain homework assignment because I had to study for a test.
They'd say, well, in the future, it really doesn't matter what this one test will do, or, the future is so far from now that you shouldn't be thinking about every single little thing that'll affect it.
I can talk to them whenever I need to. They're more like they're there for me, and
Let me, do my thing, learn from my mistakes, and they didn't really, push me into anything I didn't want to do.
They live in a completely different generation, and where they grew up was completely different from where I'm going to school right now. So I think their advice sometimes doesn't really match with what I want to do.
There was a period of about 2 or 3 months when I really was struggling with my mental health, and I just was in a constant state of sadness and anxiety, and I didn't really know how to handle anything. And I kept asking them, please, get me help, please, I need to talk to someone, I need to do something about these feelings I have. And there was a very extended period of time when they didn't do anything about it, and I just had this really deep feeling of betrayal.
Sometimes my parents would hover a bit over me, like helicopter parent style, so they would always be around, and that would give me a little more pressure than I would have liked, because I felt like I was under constant monitoring, so I would have preferred to have a little more freedom and independent space.
I think maybe just understand a little better about how school is a lot different than it was a long time ago, and there's a lot more stress now.
Love and support, and I feel like not pushing your child into something that they really don't want to do.
There's definitely going to be ups and downs in the year for your kids, and it's nice when you help them get up from their down.
Be lenient towards your kids, but still help them.
And remember, again, academics, test scores, they're not everything. That's not what defines an intelligent person. It's not what it defines a good person or a person who will be successful in the future. Just, again, your child's happiness should be, a priority.